Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive. You guys, our team builder or pregame press conference here for the week 6 of the GBA, where the New York Metapods are taking on the New Orleans Pelippers and Coach Pokemon or John, one of my good friends. The last couple times we faced, I was able to beat him a couple of seasons ago in the playoffs, and then he beat me last season, I believe, in the regular season with a little bit of luck, but nevertheless, he's a very good player, guys, and we've kind of gone back and forth a few instances that we played against each other. So this is definitely one of those matches that, again, we're kind of in a must-win situation. If you missed last week, kind of another rough match. We've fallen to 1-4. Not what I wanted to do. Of course, last season we kind of made it happen with a 7-5 run. Then we made it through the playoffs and we won the championship, and that was amazing. A great way to, you know, kind of bounce back after losing the championship the previous season. So we've proven ourselves to be a good contender in this league, but this season things have just not been working out for us. The team has not worked as I planned it to work. I haven't even gotten sticky webs up once, and here we are in week 6, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Victini's been okay, but the rest of the team hasn't done anything. I haven't done anything productive with Altaria, and it's just, I don't know. I've been trying to make some trades and things to mix it up, and I haven't found any deals that I like. So I'm kind of at a loss right now. I'm just going to do my best to try to win every single week, as we normally would do, and try to make it back into some sort of a playoff race here, guys. I'm trying my best, but you know, losing 1-0 in the last 2 weeks has been kind of crushing, but it is what it is, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, you guys probably know, I have a crazy amount of stuff going on. I've got my wedding coming up in 3 weeks, actually, from the day that this is being posted, and then I have I'm actually in the process of buying a house right now, so things are pretty crazy, man. I'll be moved in probably in about a month and a half, so things are like absolutely nuts right now with everything going on in life. But I've been still trying to put in a good amount of effort into this league, and things just aren't happening right now. So the level of competition is so high. But anyway, we've got a new opponent this week, a new opportunity for us to bounce back and try to climb our way back into the league. You know, I'd like to try to make this. I don't want to finish like 1-11, guys. I want to finish like 6-6 or something, you know. At least let me try to claw back. So we're gonna do our best here, but we have a very tough opponent this week with a very good team. So I don't know how he has this team, guys. He's got Mega Lopunny, which is one of the best Pokemon in the format. Actually, could be argued as being the best in the format from a stat perspective. It's consistently in the top 3 or 4 Pokemon in kills every single season, without a doubt. No matter who uses it, this thing is a monster. Mega Lopunny, Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Return, Ice Punch, you know, the shenanigans. Pretty standard stuff. I figure he'll bring a pretty standard one, maybe with Drain Punch, though. So I kind of expect that. He's got Reuniclus, very good Pokemon. This is what actually beat me last time when I played John. He's very familiar with Reuniclus. It could be a Calm Mind, it could be an Assault Vest variant, it could be a Trick Room. It can do so many things, and it's so hard. I don't have a Dark type on my team, so this Reuniclus is just a headache. He's got a Latios, which is one of the, you know, first round pick in my opinion. So that's his second potential first round pick. Latios is a monster, obviously hits incredibly hard with a base 130 special attack. I have very few switch-ins to this thing. I fully expect him to bring the first 3 Pokemon, by the way. Lopunny, Reuniclus, Latios. The thing is just such a hard hitter. It's got Defog, Life Orb, Draco Meteors. I have no switch-ins. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but he's got a Landorus Therian, very good Pokemon again. Another one of those Pokemon that in previous seasons goes in the first round, and somehow John has Lopunny, Latios, and Landorus. I have no idea how that happened, but nevertheless, he's got a Landorus Therian. Could be defensive with Rocky Helmet, could be offensive. I mean, you don't know. A multitude of different sets. Umbreon, pretty decent wall, whether it's physically defensive or specially defensive. Heal Bell, Wish, Protect, things like that. Gastrodon, another bulky Pokemon with Recover. Really hard to wear down if you don't hit it with a Grass type move, so you got to keep that in mind. He's got the Escavalier, which is his only steel type, and can also be run Assault Vested, pretty normal. He could run some Trick Room shenanigans. He does have a couple Pokemon that function decently well in Trick Room, but he's also got a lot of speed, so it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do. Miltank there. Miltank is one of those Pokemon that's like pretty decent, but against me, it's actually really good because it's a great Victini response. Choice Band of V-Create barely does anything to a max HP, max defense, impish, like thick, fat Miltank. So I expect him to bring Miltank actually. So if you know, kind of going through the rest of his team, but Miltank could be Stealth Rocks, could be offensive, but most likely going to be bulky. He's got the Rotom Cut there. I don't really anticipate seeing Rotom Cut in this match. But it does get Volt Switch, Leaf Storm, Trick, Shenanigans, could be Scarf, things like that. Will-O-Wisp. Cryogonal is pretty much terrible, but hey, maybe I just won't even expect it, and he'll bring Cryogonal with Ice Beam, but I think actually our team can handle Cryogonal pretty well. And he's got a Bisharp there. Obviously, Bisharp is a huge threat unless you hit it with a Fighting type move. Stab Sucker Punch is incredibly good. Iron Head, he could actually bring this thing to kind of take on Altaria, so I'll have to be very careful about the Bisharp. But that's his team. I'm expecting him, if I had to pick the 6 Pokemon he's going to bring, Low Punny, Reuniclus, Latios, no doubt in my mind. Miltank, I think, is a very strong maybe, because Miltank checks Victini very well. Landorus, I think, is just too good not to bring in most situations, and I think his 6 Pokemon is going to be potentially Bisharp, could be Umbreon or Gastrodon for more bulk, but this team's scary. But it's time for us to talk about our team and why this is the team that's going to win, guys, because I want to win this match. So, first Pokemon that we're showing off here is our Mega Altaria Nimbus, which is basically our setup sweeper. It's kind of weird that I'm starting with this Pokemon, but hopefully I can lay out the framework of the team here. Setup sweeper here, Jolly max speed, or I'm sorry, Jolly with enough speed to outspeed max speed Mega Lopunny after a Dragon Dance. We've got the Dragon Dance, Return, Fire Blast, Roost. Return hits everything on his team incredibly hard, except for things like Escavalier and Bisharp. We got Fire Blast. Should be good enough. The Fire Blast is mostly for the Escavalier, but it is nice to have it there for the Bisharp. Return will likely hit that thing harder. Anyway, I know I'm running Jolly, so my special attack is pretty low, but even an Assault Vested Escavalier is taking like 60% from a Fire Blast, so not too concerned there. The next Pokemon we're going to be bringing is our Ivy here, our Ferrothorn, running a very unique set this week. It's actually fully mixed defenses, so max HP, Impish Nature. You can see his defense and special defense are exactly equal, so he's going to be able to take hits from both sides. Stealth Rock's there because I want to get those up and just whittle down his team a little bit. Swords Dance, Power Whip, Knockoff. We are running Swords Dance on our Ferrothorn this week because a lot of his defensive Pokemon cannot touch us unless he runs HP Fire, which I don't anticipate on things like Gastrodon and Umbreon and Miltank, things like that. So I can set up in their face with a Swords Dance. He will not expect it, and hopefully I can bop some things with some knockoffs and some Power Whips. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm trying to mix things up this week. This team is a little bit different than what I've been doing because obviously what I've been doing isn't working. So there's our Ferrothorn there. No attack investment, just meant to use that Swords Dance because after a Swords Dance, actually, Power Whip can 2-hit KO Umbreon, Knockoff can 2-hit KO the Reuniclus, even without, like, we could bop these things. We could really put in some work with this thing. So I'm hoping that I can get some Swords Dances up and make things happen. Our next Pokemon is our Victini, our captain, leading the team in kills, rocking that naughty Victini. So he is in for no good. He's stirring up all sorts of trouble. We got the V-Create, U-Turn, Trick, Energy Ball, Trick Scarf here. I need the Trick Scarf, man. I need to be able to, I have no responses for Reuniclus. Calm Mind Reuniclus actually destroys my entire team. I have no responses for it, so I gotta run Trick Choice Scarf. So that way, if I get that Reuniclus, I get Trick into Scarf, and we're gonna be good to go. You know what I mean? Otherwise, pivoting with U-Turn is really nice. V-Create bops his entire team. I'm running Max Attack, Naughty Nature, so essentially Adamant. But I wanna have a little bit of, I don't wanna reduce my special attack too much, so Energy Ball can take out the Gastrodon if needed. Otherwise, we're just clicking V-Create and U-Turn most of the match. Trick is there again to pass on that Scarf in case we need to kind of stop one of his walls that would potentially set up on us. Same strategy with Rotom. We're going 2 Scarfers this week, both with Trick. High Drop on Volt Switch, Dark Pulse, Modest. We actually 2-hit KO Latios with this thing. So Latios is a pretty decent switch into Rotom standardly, but I could just go for the Dark Pulse. He switches in. I can actually 2-hit KO him with Dark Pulse. We've got the Trick there again. Same reasoning. I gotta trick the Reuniclus or the Miltank, his Umbreon or his Gastrodon. Those defensive Pokemon are so hard for my team to beat, so I gotta figure out a unique way to beat them, and I decided that Trick was a really cool way to do that. Plus, running 2 Scarfers is actually pretty neat, and I could wear down a lot of his team with the Volt Switching and U-Turning combination between Victini and Rotom. So that's kind of my thought process there. I'm hoping it works out. It is going to be a little tough to do to make sure I get that Trick off, but I don't think he's going to expect me to have 2 Scarfers, and I definitely don't think he's going to expect me to have Trick on both Pokemon. So that's my Rotom set there. Max Special Attack, Max Speed. That way we speed tie with Rotom Cut. We should be good there. Making its debut, one of my favorite Pokemon all time, my favorite 6th gen Pokemon right here is Gorgai's Jack, aka Jack Skeleton, aka Spooky Pumpkin. Gord thing is gonna destroy your soul. Max HP, max defense, Will-O-Wisp, Seed Bomb, Shadow Sneak, Leech Seed. This is my only response to Low Punny. You know why? Because that thing destroys my entire team. I have no answers to Low Punny except for Jack. Jack, you gotta just do your thing, man. I need you, Jack. I understand it's got Scrappy, but even Jolly, Scrappy High Jump Kick does like 40%, so we could live 2 of them. I can thread them out with Will-O-Wisp, or I can go for a Seed Bomb or Leech Seed if I expect a substitute. This thing also is a great response to his Landorus. He could have knockoff, but aside from that, I'm sure he does have knockoff actually because of Chansey, but aside from that, I should be able to take on the Landorus pretty well. With this thing, as I do resist his ground type stab, and unless he's running HP flying, I think we're okay from the flying type stab, so we should be good with Jack. And I'm hoping this supersized Gorgeist can put in some work, man. That Shadow Sneak could be really clutch against the Reuniclus and the Latios, so I'm hoping that comes into play here, and we're able to hit those Pokemon super effectively with a priority stab attack. And last but not least, we've got Hitmon top, Dreidel making its debut again. I told you we were mixing things up. Max attack, max speed, Jolly, Technician, Expert Bell. Couldn't run Intimidate, and I couldn't run Sticky Webs. Here's why. Bisharp gets a +2 attack raise with Defiant every time it comes in on sticky webs, and if I have Intimidate, it gets a +1 attack raise. Can't run Intimidate. Gotta run Technician. Mach Punch, Close Combat, Rapid Spin, Sucker Punch. Actually, if this thing works, dude, I'm gonna be so hyped because it could really work. A lot of his walls, his Umbreon, his Miltank, those two do not want to take close combats. Mach Punch hits the Lopunny really hard, destroys the Bisharp, kills the Cryogonal, which is very nice. Sucker Punch is on there for Latios, does like 60-70% with that E-Belt to the Latios, and we can hit the Reuniclus pretty hard, even if he's max HP, max defense. So we've got a couple different options with this Dreidel, and I can get that Rapid Spin off to maximize the ability for Victini to work properly, because Victini is very, very important in this match. The goal right with this team, guys, is to cripple his walls with Trick, make sure I can cripple those Pokemon, use things like Victini and Rotom and even Ferrothorn to kind of break down those walls while, you know, Hitmontop is there in the back with that priority. We got the homie Jack ready to take some hits and hopefully kind of keep Lopunny at bay, and Altaria, if all works out, should be able to come in mid-late game, click that Dragon Dance and sweep, because if I get that Dragon Dance up, man, we can win this game. There's no doubt about it, especially if I weaken that Escavalier. If I can get that Dragon Dance up, we can win the game, but I gotta get the Dragon Dance up, and I gotta be able to hit some things hard. I gotta weaken the Landorus because of the Intimidate. I gotta weaken the Miltank. I gotta weaken the Escavalier, but if I can do those things, Altaria can sweep, and that's gonna be our game plan here. So I didn't bring Chansey because he's got too many things I could set up on it. Reuniclus beats Chansey with Recover. Lopunny destroys it. Bisharp destroys it with Knockoff. I mean, I just couldn't use Chansey as much as I wanted to. The problem with this team, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. The problem I have right now is if Latios comes into the game and his Life Orb and clicks Draco Meteor, something freaking dies every time, dude. I could switch in Ferrothorn, but if he brings HP Fire on his Latios, which I'm sure he will, Ferrothorn gets destroyed. I just have no switch-ins for Latios, guys, like my entire team. Aside from Chansey, that's the only Pokemon that's an exception. Aside from Chansey, I have no switch-ins for Latios, and that's very scary. I have very few options for Lopunny, and even Landorus, the right set of Landorus, and Bisharp can destroy my team if he's got Pursuit, Sucker Punch, Knockoff, Iron Head. I mean, that would just bot me. So it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna definitely be a tough match, but we definitely can win. We can win any match. I think we have the right team for this week, and I think we can come out with a W. So I'm gonna do my best, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. Show your love on that like button down below and subscribe if you're new, of course. That's gonna be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I'll ask about aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.